Yeah, I'm kind of like an AR or what? No, an
You're like-
AI artist in real life.
You're like Chat GPT for makeup.
Yeah, I don't know what Chat GPT or whatever you just said.
Don't worry about it. It's going to trend on YouTube.
I think you know what I mean. I create the AIs with makeup products.
That's your new tagline?
Yeah, it should be.
Makeup by Tabitha, the Chat GPT of makeup. I'm telling you, the traffic was going to start.
Hey, I mean, I really needed like a good tagline.
That one's free.
The
For you,
chat.
girl.
But okay.
What's up, guys? We're back. It's the Best Midland Texas Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Shewchuk. This is my gorgeous wife, Terra Avery. We have an amazing guest today, Tabitha Swiniarski.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Otherwise known as Makeup by Tabitha.
Correct.
Tabitha is a professional makeup artist. You also have your own makeup line, entrepreneur here in Midland, Texas. So, Tabitha, thank you for coming on today.
Thank y'all for having me.
And if you want to just sort of like, let's just get a little history about how you got into becoming a makeup artist.
Okay, so I have been a makeup artist now for 8 years. I started out with no plan to become a makeup artist. I went to college. I got my bachelor's in mass communication, and I worked for State Farm Insurance for about 2 years after I graduated college, which was the worst, most boring job in the whole world. So I sold auto, home, life, and health, which is just
exciting.
yeah. But makeup was always a hobby. And so I also competed in pageants right after high school. And I did the Miss Texas USA system. So the
Nice.
first year that I competed, you could not have a hair or makeup person for the pageant. Back then it was live. So it was like 9 days, you're in Laredo, NBC production crew comes in. It's a huge production. It's more of a television show at that point than like a pageant. And so I had a makeup artist teach me how to do my makeup for the pageant. I learned how to highlight, contour, all the things that were more advanced techniques.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't YouTube. There wasn't Instagram. There was no Google. I mean, we didn't have social media at that point. It's 2004, like the dinosaur ages of, so you couldn't just hop online and like how to learn how to do your makeup. So I learned from a professional down in Houston. And I competed for about 5 years in the pageant system. During that time, I was still in college, and my friends would want me to do their makeup whenever we were going out because they didn't understand, like, how do you blend your eyeshadow? Why is your under eye so bright? It was like the secret at that point. And so that's really like how it got started was when I started doing pageants. I was interested in makeup before.
Yeah.
I had shared on Instagram. I made my mom buy me this like DVD package from Pamela Anderson's makeup artist, Alexis Fogel. I was just watching her documentary, saw it, made me think of it. So I looked up the infomercial, and it was like you could buy all the makeup with the instructional video, and it would teach you how to do your makeup
Wow.
to look like a star. Like, and that's how much it's changed,
I like that.
So you said 8 years now. So what was the jump from insurance to? I mean, how do you just basically like? What's the point where you say I'm a professional makeup artist? You know what I mean? And this is my career now.
Yeah. Well, I did not intend to make it a career when I started. It was really a necessity to kind of meet a need at that point. It was like 2014. The oil field crashed, and I was like, what can I do? Literally, my goal was to make $300 a week. What can I do to help my family? I hadn't worked in about a year and a half. My daughter was 18 months old.
Mm-hmm.
And so she was in Children's Day out 2 days a week. And that's where I started. I was like, okay, 2 days a week, I will teach makeup lessons in my bathroom. And it was actually one of my friends who said, you should teach makeup lessons. And I was like, nobody's going to want to do that. And she was like,
Meanwhile,
no, like, I want to do, like, will you teach me how to do my makeup? And so that's where it started. And I had no intention for it to be a career. But once I started, it just didn't stop. It was kind of like really at the time where makeup was getting so popular, people wanted to know how to do their makeup, and it just kind of rose.
how did you get these clients then? Your bathroom tutorials, as I'm going to call them.
Yeah,
Like,
the bathroom days. Yeah.
You're like, it's not something that you were trying to put on social media. You were trying to get people to come to your house, to your bathroom for you to teach them how to do their makeup?
So funny.
Was it all? Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it seems like something that might end up on Dateline, but at the
I never got taken. I was like, God, that was like really pretty ballsy of me to just trust these people to come to my home for so many years.
I mean, as women, like with my girlfriends and stuff, like we love to hang out in each other's like bathrooms and closets and like chit chat and have girl time. So to me, it seems like the natural step. Like this is a comfortable space for most people.
Yeah.
Like let's hang out and I'll teach you how to.
I mean,
Do your makeup.
I get the comfort part of it if it's your girlfriends or something like that. And
Right.
you're coming over and you got your wine and some whatever.
But you're wondering how I
Candles.
got strangers in there.
I'm wondering how you got. I'm wondering how you got pay people to pay you.
Oh,
That's
okay.
I mean-
The trust and the
Well, I'm saying not even the trust. Sorry, I'm not
Yeah.
even saying the trust. I'm saying
Like, how did you turn it into a business?
how did you say I can do this for you, but I want to make the $300 a week. How are you going like? Hey, by the way, I'm charging you for this. This is not. Hey, it's not friends and you
yeah.
gotta pay me.
Yeah. So, what really, really helped me have that clientele all like basically kind of from the start was actually I modeled clothes for a boutique here that was called Posh Pony. Also very fascinating. Whenever it started, the lady that owned it was like the first person I ever knew that like took pictures and put it on Instagram or Facebook. It grew so fast on that. Her Instagram had like 75,000 followers whenever it went from 0 to like 75. Like it was like the early Instagram days.
Yeah.
And I had a huge following of people that knew me from that boutique.
From your modeling photos.
Yeah, from my modeling pictures. And so it was like people were in, and that was, again, Instagram was still kind of like, there wasn't all these influencers to follow. You know what I mean? So it was, people were just more Interested in myself because it was like I was modeling for that boutique.
Okay.
So whenever I started doing makeup lessons, people had already wanted to know how I did my makeup because I was modeling for Posh Pony for so long. And,
Yeah.
I was like, well, I did pageants. I know how to highlight and contour. That was really a big thing back then. Like,
It was,
the
yeah.
highlight and contour. People wanted to know how to do that.
But you were like, okay, I'm not about doing this. Like, I'm going to record myself doing these tutorials, sell it online. You were like, I'm going to actually do a one-on-one. Was there any part of that? It was like, hey, like, why not like create a whole online course and sell to the masses versus?
So I did think about, to do a YouTube channel, or I never really thought about an online course, but I did think about, I knew I wanted to do a makeup line.
Okay.
Because that would be kind of like my version of a YouTube channel. And I really wish I was more interested in recording myself on YouTube. You know what I mean? Because that is the smarter way to make money. But it's like, I'm just not that interested in doing that. I
Yeah.
love being one-on-one with people. And that was just not what came naturally to me.
If I wanted to start a makeup line,
Yeah.
how would I go about that?
Really, anybody can start a product line, okay?
Okay.
But you'd have to have the base of people, the clientele that want to buy your product. You'll never compete with Kylie Jenner. You're
Yeah.
never going to compete with Estee Lauder as for someone like me.
Sure.
But the fact that I had busted my butt and built a very, good client base in Midland, and I have a small following on Instagram compared to, but you know what I mean? Like people trusted that, and so I knew if I found the right products that it would be so beneficial to kind of marry the product and client education, because over and over and over I heard, I have all this makeup, but I don't know how to use it, or I got the wrong color, blah, blah, blah. People waste so much money on makeup, right? So that's what made me confident that it would be successful, because I knew as long as I had somebody in my chair, I was going to teach them how to use makeup, and then they would probably buy it. Then I just found, who I wanted to manufacture. My company is a manufacturer and a developer. So they have the research and development and the formulations for products. They manufacture for like prestigious brands, and then also private label division. So beauty entrepreneurs like me, you go in and curate a line of things that are already researched and developed, and you brand them. I knew I had a market of people that not only wanted my line, but needed my line. Because in my work, there was a real big disconnect between products and the client. Because they would bring in their own makeup, and maybe I'd used it, maybe I hadn't. And then I would write them out a list, and they would go out, shop and buy whatever I told them to buy at all these different places. And they kept saying to me, I really wish you had your own makeup that I could just buy whenever I came to get my lessons so I could just get it all here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, me too,
How much of the business now is hands-on still?
A lot.
Can you give us like a typical week rundown for you? Like you're having to go out to clients, or clients come to you. I mean, how big is your marketing team? Like, how big is your fulfillment team?
I'm party of one.
Oh
So I fulfill all the orders. I do everything. But I have a storefront, and so I do have another girl that comes in and helps me like with orders or just arranging the store. That's another whole thing that was like different, was retailing your own makeup products. I'm like, wait, how can I get one of those big like things they have at the mall where you put but a typical week. So I have a scheduling app online on the website, so people can go on there and book their makeup lessons or book their makeup applications. And so typically I take Mondays off, and that's like my day to kind of just make sure everything is smooth sailing in there. And then Tuesday through Friday, I'm doing makeup lessons or applications on people. And then the store is open to shop for people to come in. And then the online store is always going. And so, if I'll fill orders if I need to while I'm there. So, yeah, that's about how it rolls.
We should, also mention, like, you're a mom, you know what I mean? Like, you're not just like, this is all I do. Your time is very limited.
How you have two?
I have 2 kids, yeah.
How old are they now?
My daughter's 10 and my son's 6.
Okay. Oh,
so it's easier now that they're a little older.
Yeah.
But, yeah, back when I first started, Sailor was a baby, and that was some rough days.
Yeah, I bet.
Sometimes you didn't have a babysitter, and it was, like, crazy. But
is she super into makeup too?
well, not on a daily basis, but
Right.
she does competitive cheer, so, like,
nice.
I do her makeup for that.
I
And
bet all the other girls are jealous.
oh my gosh. It's like they are so funny. Her 2 little friends, I've done their makeup too at the competitions, and they are like the biggest hype people ever. They're like, oh, slay queen, da 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 da. Tabitha, can you redo my makeup? Like, they're just so cute. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys. Like
When I think of celebrities, right?
Yeah.
Like, you think celebrity, it's not, that's a thing. They have a celebrity chef. This chef like lives there and just cooks for
just
them. So
cooks
like,
for 'em.
are there, like, do the Kardashians have just their makeup person that just
Yeah.
goes everywhere with them?
Yeah.
He obviously doesn't watch the show.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Makeup by Mario is always with Kim.
Yeah.
Okay,
and
so that is a
makeup
thing.
by Ariel is like always with Kylie.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that you can have, like, with that type of money, you can just be
Yeah.
like, you just come with me all the time because I'm not dealing
I'm not
with.
going to look ugly.
My billionaire brain would be like, it's like, I'm not going to go to a different barber every month or every.
Yeah, because one thing about makeup is it's really artistic, and so no matter what kind of training you've had or maybe not had, you can get a real bad job. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they're just, everybody has had that experience of like post-traumatic makeup disorder syndrome. I don't know, whatever. But it's like you get scarred for life if somebody makes you uglier than you went.
Right.
When you should always be equal to how you came in. Obviously, I feel like you should be greater than, but you
Right.
should not look less attractive after a makeup application, and it happens.
Yeah.
So these celebrities are not just going to put their face in
Makes
the
sense.
hands of any person that could make them look,
Okay,
yeah.
so go back to TikTok. What are your thoughts on that bold glamour filter that everybody's talking about right now?
I don't know what that is.
Yes.
See,
Bold glamour.
so
I know one thing.
Hit me.
I'm real glad that I never got into the whole filtering myself to look like I don't even know who I am.
Yeah.
I mean, I get on Instagram like all natural. Okay, I don't even put the little Paris filter because I'm like, if you can't handle it like this, then whatever, you don't need to be here. But also, then maybe when people see me in person, they're like, oh,
She really looks Yeah.
pretty. Like, you want to look better, right, in person than you do online.
Yeah.
And so why not show up with the worst version of yourself?
I mean, you would
Then
think.
you don't disappoint people, okay? Because when they see you, they're like excited that you, I mean, and it was really funny back when filters first started, people would come in and they'd be like, oh my God, you really look like you do like online or whatever. I was like,
I'm not like face tuning my nose off.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I have a friend, like, she always, like, I don't know if she still does, but she would face tune herself. And you couldn't even see like her nostrils. I'm like, girl. No. We all know you have a nose.
Well, just like makeup artists, filter artists, that should be a thing too.
I was going to say, there has been some trolls on Instagram who have accused me of filtering or photoshopping the afters on the makeup. And I don't think this one girl, I really did like argue back and forth with it. I was like, look, I am a local makeup artist. If I filtered this person to not look like herself, people would know.
Yeah.
Because they see them. Like, it's not like I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It really blew my mind. But she just kept arguing with me back and forth. And I'm like, that's the problem with the filters is now booking a makeup artist. Is that really their work? Did they really do makeup like that? Or did they face app that picture?
Yeah.
Like, that is the thing, too, that's so crazy. Or the people just don't even trust that you can actually transform somebody with makeup without there being a filter because we have trust issues now. So,
how do you stay up on trends?
I mean, really like social media, and since the company that manufactures my makeup is also a developer, they are constantly, on trend, ahead of the trend, trying to figure out what's a new trend. So that's always fun to see, like, where the beauty industry is heading, like what's.
So what are some of your top products, and then what do you foresee? Like, are there any? I don't want you to give any secret sauce, but are there any like trends or products that you're like, you can see that are coming out, or I guess trending?
So skincare makeup is really trending. Natural makeup is trending, despite the overly heavily filtered, obsessed society we live in. Natural makeup is on trend. And so, like I said, I was really excited that I chose something that was like ahead of that. The tinted primer for your face has a skin adapt like pigment technology, so it adapts to your skin tone as you apply it. And then like I have a mineral sheer tint that's like foundation, sunscreen, and a tinted moisturizer. So that's really like a nice, right on trend. It's like you can still see your skin, but it looks perfected. Like, thankfully, the heavily overdone eyebrows are out, the heavy contour. It's more of just like a natural, like I call it like a lived in glam, you know? And I like makeup. I've always liked makeup to be more harmonious, like I like it to look like it fell on somebody's face.
Yeah.
And not like harsh. And, that's just not my like style with it. So, which it was really on trend for a while too.
That was like the whole like Pamela Anderson thing, like way back in the day. Like, she always looked beautiful, but the look was very different with like the bold eyeshadows and the overly lined lips and nude lipstick. I don't know. But
what would you say if a client comes to you, right? Like, how much of this is like consultation of going like, hey girl, like we might want to, that was 10 years ago type of thing. Like, do you run into that a lot, and how do you navigate, I guess, that somebody who's like super outdated?
Yeah. Well, most people that do book like a makeup lesson, they know that they're out of date, And so, usually I've never had anybody that's like offended by the fact that their makeup routine is not up to par, because that's why they're there.
They came to you for a reason.
So and they're always like so excited to learn, one-on-one. Because I'm not kidding, 99% of makeup tutorial clients will say to me, I watch YouTube videos all the time, but I still can't do what they're teaching me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they need that one-on-one. And I totally get it, because makeup it's simple, but it's also complex. And when it's just easier to break it down when you're with somebody versus like watching someone on screen.
Yeah, because everyone's face shape is different, and you can't search. I mean, maybe you could search for like a YouTube video on like, this is my face type, and I have hooded eyes, and blah blah blah, and like they're going to show you that exact video. Like, I'm sure eventually you can get that, but
yeah,
it's unique to each person's features.
Yeah, I'm kind of like an AR or what? No, an
you're like-
AI artist in real life.
You're like Chat GPT for makeup.
Yeah, I don't know what Chat GPT or whatever you just said.
Don't worry about it. It's going to trend on YouTube.
I think you know what I mean. I create the AIs with makeup products.
I love it. That's your new tagline?
Yeah, it should be.
Makeup by Tabitha, the Chat GPT of makeup. I'm telling you, the traffic was going to start.
Hey, I mean, I really needed like a good tagline for my line.
That one's free.
The
It's for you,
chat.
girl.
Okay.
What else is next with Makeup by Tabitha?
I guess I just trying to reach, new clients and keeping Midland beautiful, keeping those faces pretty and and people happy that come in my chair.
Yeah.
That's always going to be a part of my business, is one-on-one clients. But definitely, embracing the YouTube and TikTok and just being more in front of the camera to reach a larger audience. That's what I'm focused on for sure.
Yeah.
You do have this, like, I'll use the term like white glove approach, right? Where it's just like, hey, buy my products and you go and figure it out, or whatever. Some employee somewhere will show you how to use it, right? That's a chain brand type of thing where you're like, no, when you're buying Makeup by Tabitha, you're getting me.
You're getting me, literally, like packing that shit up, mailing it. I remember whenever I first started, like I couldn't figure out how to freaking work the label printer. And I was like, I am never going to be able to do this. But I ship out orders all over the United States. Like it's crazy how it has grown. It really is. And I'm proud of that. It's neat to see it do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do eventually want a bigger store in Midland with like people that are trained by me to do more lessons at one time. Like that's definitely a goal somewhere along the line, but I feel like I'm focused more on like the cyberspace first.
How do you sort of end up merging the two where it is like, hey, you can buy my products. Okay, you're not going to come to necessarily Midland, Texas to work with me or on the tour, but how do you give that sort of like happy medium?
Happy medium?
Yeah.
So people can email me or DM me a picture, like a selfie, and I'll say, take a selfie in natural light, and then send me a selfie with your makeup on, and I'll color match you. So one thing that like I will say is my gift is color matching. And since I know my product line so well, it's like I always tell people, I'm like, these are my children. I know my children.
Yeah.
I can look at somebody and just know their color, And so, and I mean, like, I do get it wrong sometimes, but I'm humble about it. I'm like, obviously, I'm not going to be perfect, but I try to shoot for 100.
Sure.
So I merge it that way. Also, what I've seen, because people will email me, so I know this is how it works. Hey, I tried your tinted primer from a friend. It's medium. It was a little too light for me or a little too dark for me. Okay, well, then I know that person is going to be, like, those shades are easy because they're skin tone adapting. So they're going to be light or they're going to be medium deep.
So what about for somebody like me who in the summer, actually spring, fall, winter too, I'll like self-tan.
Yeah.
Or spray tan, sorry. And then like, is there a product that I could wear like when I'm not spray tanned and when I am spray tanned?
Yeah. Well, so bronzer, so if your foundation color, if you don't have two of them for your spray tan color and then your like non-spray tan, adding bronzer is going to make you darker,
Okay.
And so
Nice.
you just want to make sure you use a big fluffy powder brush so it's not like so.
Like streaky.
Yeah. And it'll go on more sheer when you use a bigger brush.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. Small
What are
brush, she'd be real snooky like. Yeah.
What are your 4 must-have makeup items in your kit?
So definitely the tinted primer because you can wear it by itself or underneath foundation and gives you SPF, evens out your skin tone. The Pucker Up Lip Plumper. It's just a clear gloss that's actually a like a hydrating, anti-aging lip plumping product. So it's really, you wear it in place of chapstick. And then the Brow Wow, that's that brow gel stuff I was telling you about.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I call it like a brow wig because it's waterproof, 24-hour wear. You can swim, your eyebrows are not going to come off. But that's a must-have. And then I would say bronzer, the Fiji bronzer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're both gonna get Brow Wow. And
Yeah,
then
y'all
we're
need
gonna
to come
try
up
it on
into my
your,
I
hood
need a
and see
brow
what's
wig.
up.
and we're gonna
You
try
do.
it on your little.
I need a
I
brow
could put some
weave.
tinted primer on you.
Oh,
some
okay. Nice.
brow
Yeah,
I
let's
wow.
do
offered
it
to
up.
put my Lashify lashes on his beard.
You're gonna put fake lashes on my beard.
It'd be like
Okay.
beard extensions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
Beard
in like
weave.
Hey, maybe you could do beard extensions. That could be a thing. They're like, do they make those?
Yeah, they do. My guess is no, but
Because, like, what if you can't grow a full beard
Right.
and you need to, like, you know?
for those who want to purchase your makeup online or visit your store, where's the best place to get a hold of you?
So, shopmbtcosmetics.com is the best place to shop, or email me on there to, if you have questions, but you can also book if you're local. Like a color match is free, but that's the appointment where, like, basically, I'm going to be in there. You know, you have a set time to come in and shop.
Okay.
Or book a lesson or an application on there.
All right. We thank you so much for coming in today and telling us your secrets.
Mm.
And we're gonna put together a color matching video
I
on the
can't
both
wait.
of us. Let's get it out there.
Let's start the YouTube off with a bang.
All right. We will see you on the next one.
bye.
Bye. Boom. We're done.